If we can have you kind of come to the front, we promise just a few minutes of your time to explain who paid for all these drinks. Please, if you can make your way towards the front of the stage just for a couple of minutes.
Mike's hot.
Hello, everyone. Woo! Can everyone come to the front, please? It helps me explain who paid for the drinks. All right, so welcome everyone to our second Ecosystem Space event. Ecosystem Space is run as a collaboration. Would you believe it? It takes an ecosystem. Two of the principal organizations that run this are Swift. So I'm Vice President of Swift, Leon Vanstone. Lovely to see you all here again. Thank you so much for coming. Also, I'd like to take a moment to direct your attention to this. Well, these are our sponsors. We thank them as well. They pay for things like the beer, the whiskey, our incredible DJ. But do pay attention to the slides as they scroll through, because we do put people up there and you can go and ask them about things like the rest of the board and other people that are involved in organizing these events. Speaking of other people who helped organize these events, I also want to give a shout out to Space Force Association. Hands up if you're the Space Force Association. So talk to those people. Eric McManus is somewhere ignoring me. He's at the back. Okay, cool. And so just a quick reminder, this will run every second Thursday of every month. And y'all should all come. The beer and the whiskey, it is free. And so speaking of free whiskey, Jeff here is actually sponsoring. No, so please, Jeff, come on stage. He is our president of Swift.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
My fearless leader.
Great. No, thanks everyone for coming here. Again, we're going to keep this short. This is about connecting, having fun. Make sure you meet at least 5 or 10 new people here tonight, because everyone that I've talked to so far has an incredible value into the space ecosystem. So as Leon mentioned, we're going to be doing this thing on a regular basis. We're not even version 1.0, I was saying. We're kind of in version 0.2. This is our second version, right? Our second event. But they're getting bigger and better, and we love to have everybody. So we want to make sure that for those of you that you see someone who should be here who is not, make sure that you connect them and invite them into our next event, which I believe is going to be August 14th. Is that right? August 14th? Okay, great. So first, I would like to thank Heather and Juice Consulting, we're fortunate to have on our board, who this would not happen if it were not for Juice Consulting. And everybody from Juice Consulting, thank you so much for the volunteer work that you're doing, making this happen and building the space ecosystem in Texas. We're all doing our part. I want to mention a couple of things. We have some really cool people tonight, and not only, later in career people like me, but just fresh starts coming out. You have somebody like Evan, I think he's around here, who just finished internship on Capitol Hill, back there, out of Texas A&M in industrial engineering, wants to have the career in space, definitely has the enthusiasm too. And you have Perry, if you're here, she has won an award in the space policy at the LBJ School of Public Policy. So, we have amazing young people, and we have an amazing group, and we're all here to happen. Now, one of the things that you didn't see that's happened since our last event is an amazing event that happened in Midland, Texas, called the International Rocket Engineering Challenge, and this is where 150 teams from around the world competed. Now, he had 66 international teams, roughly 84 or so US-based teams, everyone from Brazil and from India and Turkey and Mexico and all over the world, and they came to go test the rockets that their universities built. Now, these are student groups who are building rockets along various categories. I would like to make a special shout out tonight to one of the attendees here, William. Where's William with ACC? William and the Austin Community College team that braved that West Texas desert and launched, successfully recovered. I won't say another local institution to us that actually burned theirs in. The parachute didn't deploy, but look, it was excitement was guaranteed out there, but ACC did a phenomenal job as a community college. Think about that. So we're looking forward to working with ACC as well as our local institutions in the next year. Speaking of which, there's at our next event, which is going to be August 14th, we're going to be premiering on the screen a documentary that follows Swift's first sponsored team when Swift is less than a year old, but we wanted to help students get hands on rockets so that they can go build the real rockets that we need to go back to the moon and onward to Mars. And so we will be having a premiere of a brief documentary at the next meeting, so make sure you're here. And Olivia Tudor, who was very gracious to go produce this, we're looking forward to that. Also, one of the things, we do have free drinks. Because we have free drinks, I have one ask of you. We want to give special thought. This is an ecosystem and this is a community. And we have a community that's hurting for us right now in just west of here in Kerr County. So all of the tips, you'll see a little QR code to scan. If you could do anything, whatever you can do, at the bar, there's a tip. Whatever you go, will go 100% into the Kerr County Relief Fund. So thank you for that. All right, so enough of that formalities here. Look, I wanted to introduce Brent, who is, where's Brent? Okay. Ah, you're right here. Thank you so much. Who is one of our co-hosts with the Space Force Association and also the founder of New Space Hub. And Brent, just welcome you up here and turn it over to you for a moment.
Thanks, Jeff. For some of you guys, it's good to see you again. We saw you at the last event, and I've seen you around the Capitol and other places. And I just want to tell you a little bit about the idea of ecosystem space. We were talking about how people talk about space, but there is no synapse connection there. So what we're really looking to do is bridge that, and bridge that with the right people in the room, and that's why you're here. We sent invites out to many people, and you guys showed up. And so continue to show up. It's about an ecosystem. I wanted to share a little bit about a recent event that Space Force Association hosted, which is the Australian delegation here. And as we think about the ecosystem in Texas, in the United States, think about the international ecosystem, because there's a lot going on there and a lot of interest here. And there's a lot of interest in coming to Texas and growing our economy here in Texas. So one of the things you'll notice is on the screen, there'll be Ask Me Abouts. And what I want you to do is when you see those people, ask them about those things, because that's things that they are passionate about and helping drive in our economy and in Texas. The other piece is I want to thank you as part of Space Force Association, as part of the co-host with Swift. Amazing group of individuals. Enjoy every minute with them. And of course, I want to thank our sponsors, LSAS, Tech, and of course, Capital Factory with this amazing space, Juice Consulting, Still Austin, and Starbase Brewery, and Third Rock. I mean, the radio. Yeah. Now, all I ask you to do is please don't talk to the same people you talk with all the time, and definitely don't just sit and camp out, not even those chairs. Talk with someone new, introduce yourself, exchange business cards, because it's an ecosystem, and this is ecosystem space. You're right.
Hey, everybody. My name is Joseph Kopser. How is everybody? Okay, I'm batting cleanup. I'm going to be super fast to get back to my favorite part, which is talking and drinking. But there are a couple of things I want to do, which is to recognize again, it takes a group, it takes a network, or as Bob Metcalf might say with Metcalf's Law, it takes a series of networks, and the power is the number of nodes squared. And when I look around this room, I know that the Texas space industry is in good hands for a number of reasons. And just like anybody who speaks at a wedding reception, I'm going to violate a rule I know I should not do. But there are some super VIPs in this room that I want to make sure that you know are in here because they are contributing with their networks to this unbelievable growing industry of 2,000 plus companies. But if they don't have the workforce to do it, those companies will and then go other places. But I saw Eric from Firefly Aerospace. Where's Eric? Where's Eric? He was here. He's taking a call. Okay. So when he comes back in, you'll see him, handsome devil, Firefly Aerospace. You know, they landed on the moon. Yeah. The National Security Innovation Council. There's Eric. All right, raise your hand, Eric. Just want to say hello so everybody sees VIPs in the crowd. But it takes, again, ecosystems of ecosystems. Larry Peterson from the National Security Innovation Council, right there. This guy, along with Pike Powers and the governor in the 80s, they helped build the technology ecosystem that we are standing on the shoulders of those giants. So give Larry a hand. Make sure you talk to Larry. And then if you're talking about the business community in Texas, you can't not bring up the Texas Association of Business. And Glenn is here representing them tonight. Thank you very much for being here. And then when you talk about Austin and what it's done, it's had a legacy for decades built on much of the work that Larry was a part of years ago. And the Austin Technology Council is a huge part of that. And we're thrilled to have their CEO, Tom Singer, with us tonight. And then when you think about how all these companies chose Austin, and as Leon says very smartly, it's not just because Texas gives tax breaks, but Texas has the workforce to do it. And explaining that is hard. And one of the groups that has done that so well for 20 years is Opportunity Austin. And where's Roland Pena? Where's Roland? Okay, there he is. Staying over there. Make sure you see them. Because what we're setting out to do with Texas Ecosystem Space is to build the ecosystem. Because guess what? It just doesn't happen organically. You have to apply energy. And if you've seen Heather and her team from Juice and all the energy they spent tonight setting it up, it's a perfect metaphor for how this comes together nicely. But as anybody who's an entrepreneur knows, takes cash, customers, and commitment. We have the commitment. We have the customers. But to get that cash going took some sponsors. Not only everybody that you see on stage, but we are super proud to highlight LSAS Tech. Where's Kyle? Where's Kyle? So right back there. So they were among the very first really big checks on the outside. Now, the founders and the board, they put in some skin and it was amazing. But LSAS Tech was one of the very first early sponsors that recognized the value they bring, which is modeling and simulation. And well, hello, good to see you, sir. An LSAS Tech customer. But we'll point that out later on. But what's amazing about what LSAS is doing is they're providing the modeling and simulation because as we know, space can be a little dangerous. And for 20 years, they've been working with the commercial space industry to be able to help them think about how they're going to do it and model it and simulate it before you send people and very expensive gear there. And they've been doing it for so long and they're really good at it. Now they're land, space, sea, and air. So thank you again to LSAS. Appreciate it very much. The last thing I'll say is, to echo what Brent said, the purpose of this is a networking event. There are so many people that we, the board of SWIFT and the Space Force Alliance and New Space Hub, we have the advantage of seeing the guest list, so we know how awesome you all are. It is your challenge to seek out fellow awesome to be able to make sure that what you're building, what you're working on, can find those partners to be able to do what you're doing. Again, my name is Joseph Kopser, one of the board members of SWIFT. Have a great time this evening and come back in a month from now on the second Thursday next month and so on and so forth. Thank you all for coming.
Okay, everyone, if I could have your attention real quickly. The hour is upon us, and it does not look like anybody wants to end. But as they say, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, right? So hopefully you've met some good folks in the networking, which is what we're about. So a couple of closing remarks. First, we're thankful to have LSAS Tech here. And as a sponsor, I'm very thankful for the cold refreshments from Nate from Starbase Brewing. That Kolsch is really out of this world. And if you haven't heard the story about Starbase Brewing, that's a space startup. And he's actually going on a mission with another Axiom mission here. I mean, he's going to be testing the growth of, I think, some of food in Martian regolith. A yeast-based food in Mars. Anyway, it's crazy. I'm like, holy shit, we need a TED Talk from him. That's our next time. So we're going to, again, thank our sponsors. Thanks, Still, Austin. Always a favorite among the crowd. I don't know if anybody from Still is here, but they really did a great job. And, of course, LSAS Tech and Space Force Association and New Space Economy. So anyway, I want to talk about something that we're doing next time. Again, put it on your calendar. Get on your phone. August 14th. Is our next event. We will be showing the documentary and it is an epic story about going out in Midland where 150 teams competed, and we're following the day in the life of the Rice Eclipse team that won their 30,000-foot competition. It's kind of like, Formula One, the Formula One Netflix. If you like the Formula One Netflix documentary, you'll like this one. It's a brief one, too. It's going to be only about 15 or 20 minutes, but it's going to be great. And also in October 3rd, 4th, and 5th, we are going to be hosting the NASA Space Apps Challenge. The NASA Space Apps Challenge is a global event. Teams from around the world compete on a rubric that's given to them, and there's various different groups. There's STEM, there's elementary school, there's high schoolers, and there's college. And so we're going to be recruiting teams from around Central Texas, and around Texas for that matter, and we're going to be hosting an event October 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So we will have sponsorship availability for that. That's going to be a great opportunity to get even a broader audience than this, which is more in the workforce end. That's going to be more STEM engagement, and so it's a great opportunity to expand your brand. So we urge you, if you have any friends or if your company might be interested in sponsoring, please work with Heather Wagner and Reed and Juice Consulting right there, who always makes it happen again. So again, make sure that we get on August 14th. That's on your calendar. And any last words for Leon, who is actually, his shoes are matching this tonight. So this is a very rare occasion. Both of his shoes match the same color. So it's kind of like Where's Waldo? You never know what his shoes are going to do. So anyway,
thank you, Leon. This is a tough crowd, man.
I tell you what.
All right, so the only thing I'd say is, again, thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you to our sponsors, of course. I do encourage all of you, think of the people that should have been in this room that weren't. We are making a deliberate effort to bring more people to this conversation than you'd normally see. I love space nerds. I do, right? I am one, but it's an ecosystem. We were very deliberate when we chose the name of this event. So please, please, please think of the people that are missing from this room, and then drag them here next time. Free whiskey, free beer. What's not to like? Speaking of whiskey and beer, it's not free, but the after party is going to be, at the recommendation of Joseph, cops are here, in Higbee's, which is just literally across the road.
Go out that door. You will run into
So anyone that does want to continue the conversation, Higbee's is where we are going. And that's it. All right. Yes.
Jensen, you knocked it out of the park again with the music. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jensen.
very,
Thank
very
you.
much.
Absolutely.
Once again.
Got to set the mood. Set the mood and tempo. Thanks, everyone. Again, the witching hour's upon us, and the after party continues. Thank you.